Welcome to the EduMagic New Educator Podcast, the go-to show for supporting new educators navigating the exciting journey from campus to the classroom. Join your host, Dr. Sam Fecich, for a blend of inspiration, advice, and practical strategies, one cup of coffee at a time.
I'm Matthew Woods, host of Leading Out of the Woods, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Hello, EduMagicians, and welcome back to another episode of the EduMagic Podcast. My name is Dr. Sam Fecich, and today we're talking about an awesome AI tool that is going to make your creating presentation time, cut it down in half, if not more. This is an AI tool called Curipod, Curipod.com. And we're going to do a little deep dive into Curipod and how it can support you when it comes to planning and preparing your presentations, preparing your formative assessment, and feedback. All right, so first step is go to Curipod.com and create a free account. You'll notice that their pricing, they always have a free forever plan, which I absolutely love. So you can have up to 1,000 character AI feedback, email and chat support, unlimited Curipods, unlimited participants. And as a professor, I love the unlimited participants. Okay, so for Curipod.com, whenever you hop into their website, you'll see several options. Along the top, you'll see enter pin, and that's if you have a presentation ready to go for students. They can just go ahead, they click on enter pin, they type in the pin code and their name, and then they're taken to the Curipod presentation you have delivered. You can also log into your account. Now, let's talk about making it super simple. Under Curipod, you have your home screen, which will take you to your lessons that you've developed. Now, it might be blank if you don't have any, which is fine. You have Discover, which it'll take you to the community, and it'll show you all the presentations that community members have made, educators and Curipod creators. You can sort by social emotional learning, math, little check-ins, brain breaks, creativity, sustainable development. You can also search for content. Up in the top right, there's a little magnifying glass. You can sort by grades. You can sort by language. They have English and Norwegian, and they have categories. So if I type in math, English, grades 1st through 4th, and click search, I have some options here that I can download and use with my students. I also have an option for create lessons, so I can create from scratch. So if I like an option that is in the community, I can copy and edit it. So now I can use what they already have, but make it my own. Or I can play it if I like it the way it is. Another option I have is creating my lessons. And friends, this is where the magic is. So whenever you click create my lessons, there are two options you can start. You can start with an activity, or you can start with a full lesson. You can have Curipod generate slides for you, or you can Curify, such a fun word, your slides. And let's start with Curify my slides. When I click on that, I'm able to pop in a PowerPoint, a PDF, a Keynote, or a PowerPoint X presentation file. So for my class, what I did was I selected a PDF, and I'm going to go ahead and drop a PDF in there. And you can choose what grade it is. Since I teach higher ed, I chose professional development. Then I clicked do some magic. So Curipod is making some magic right now based on my PowerPoint that I have uploaded here into Curipod. What it's going to do, it's going to pull my PDF and make it into separate slides. I can add all of my slides. In this example, I have 25 slides. It'll add them all. Or I can pick and choose. You'll notice whenever you upload a presentation, a PowerPoint, a Keynote, a PDF into Curipod, it'll also not only pull in your PDF or your slides, but it'll also pop in some formative assessment. For example, in my slide, I have about 20 slides, and then Curipod went in and put about 5 different little activities here that I could edit, I could use, whatever I need. So one of the questions that Curipod came up with is, what comes to mind when you think about exceptional learners and special education. And this is a word cloud activity. So when my students get this response, they type in a word or a phrase. The word, whenever they submit their response, the word with the most amount of replies is the largest on the screen. I actually did this today with my students, and the question was, what are you doing this weekend? The largest word was sleeping. So a lot of them were sleeping in, which is great. Up next, you can add all the slides, or you can regenerate and have it redo it and have it come up with more ideas. You can delete slides, you can duplicate them, and you can pick them up and move them around. If you're like, well, I'm going to switch the order here. I think I like this versus that. So you can go ahead and you can change up the slides and you can change up their order. What I also like about this is I can continue to upload. So if I wanted to combine two PowerPoint presentations or a PowerPoint and a PDF, I can do that right away, right here in my Curipod. I can just go to upload and I can pop in an additional PDF or an additional PowerPoint, and I can keep adding them to my presentation. I can edit different activities. So for example, there are several kinds of activities I can add to my presentation. A poll, I can add a word cloud, I can add a drawing, which is a lot of fun. I can add in open-ended and personalized feedback. With the personalized feedback, it includes some AI feedback, which is pretty cool. So my participants can answer the question with longer sentences, and I can choose the character limit of 1,000 characters. So here we go. I can go ahead. I can choose whatever activity I would like. I can update how long I want the poll to be, or the open-ended response, how long I want them to be. And I can edit the content that's in there. I can also add text to a slide. So if I wanted to add in a header or a bullet or a number, I can go ahead and edit the slide that way too. I can add in media. I love that you can pull right in from Unsplash or Giphy, or I love how Curipod says app smashes. You can pull in a video from YouTube. You can pull in Canva. I am a huge fan of Canva, and Canva has AI embedded as well. You can pull in your Canva designs. You can also pull in Vimeo and a lot more. Screencastify. There's so much you can pull into here. And then you can also add in elements like little stickers. Love the light bulb. And you can move that around your screen if you see fit, and you can add in shapes. So if you wanted to perhaps do a Venn diagram or a graphic organizer type thing for students, you could do that. You can change up the background of the slides. So you can change up the background with you can upload your own file, you can pull from Unsplash, or it can just be a plain color. And then you can also translate. Oh, how cool is that? So I can go ahead and I can translate into a variety of languages. And I'm going to go ahead and select French. And so we're translating from English, translate to Spanish or French, or there's quite a variety, quite a list here. And I can click translate. And it'll go ahead and it'll translate my slide. How cool is that? And it'll update that slide. I can have it up, I can translate different slides. So right now I just translated one slide, and I can continue to translate my other slides. I can add a new activity if I feel like, okay, I think I want to add some more stuff to my presentation. So I can go ahead and I can go up to add new, and I can search my generator. So I can add new personalized feedback. I can add in write feedback, repeat. I can do a comprehension activity, a lesson hook, a check-in, what do you infer, discussion prompts, brain breaks. They're a lot of fun. Mini projects, poll questions, fun facts, concepts. Did you know? Curify my slides so I can add more slides. Would you rather? An exit ticket, connecting to text, drawing a topic, entry ticket, exit ticket, identifying. Oh man, guys, the list goes on and on. Real world examples, concept explainer, SEL reflection, explain it like I'm 5, SEL check-in poll. Oh, I love a good SEL check-in poll. And you can just select one and click add some magic, and then it'll go ahead and add that to your presentation. So for example, I clicked add an SEL check-in poll. And the question is, how are you feeling today? We have excited, tired, sad, happy, and curious. And students can go ahead and respond to that. I can also create my own if I wanted to. Instead of generating with AI, I can create my own open-ended question, drawing, word cloud, poll, AI feedback, and I can also work on my slides too if I want to do full screen media or a header and text or an image and text or a text and image, whatever I'd like that to do. So not only can I pull in content that I've already have created, I can edit my content with formative assessment and little check-ins with my students. I can continue to add to that presentation with my own stuff. So if I wanted to add in my own word cloud, I could do that, or I can have it generate with AI. I can go ahead and do a real world concept check-in, and I'm going to go ahead and do real world examples. And then you would just type in your topic. So I'm going to type in Charlotte Danielson framework for teaching and click EduMagic. We'll let it think here for a minute. And it's going to come up with a real world connection to the Charlotte Danielson framework for teaching. So an example would be, let's go ahead and pull this one in. A high school history teacher uses Charlotte Danielson framework for teaching to evaluate her lesson plans, instructional strategies, and student engagement in order to continuously improve her teaching practices. And then I can build off of that and have my students identify what's an example that a high school history teacher can use that fits under domain 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so Curipod, super easy to pull the content you already have, pop in examples, formative assessment, check-ins, SEL, exit tickets, entrance tickets. The key is you want to make sure that you save your content. You can give it a description, choose the language, and make it public or private, and you can require real names. And then it'll save the content, and then you can present it to your students. If you click share, you can copy the link, so anyone with the presentation can make a copy and edit your link, so edit your presentation. So if you would like to share it with a co-teacher, you could do that. You could also click under present and click preview it so you can see what your students would see. But if you click present from beginning, it'll give students the option to log in and see what they need. So whenever you click present from the beginning, it's going to give students a link, a code, and to play some fun music. I'm going to turn the music off for now. It's going to give the students a link and a code or a QR code that they can join. Once they type in the PIN or the code, they'll be given the prompt to type in their name, and then it'll give them a nickname that will pop up on the screen. Once students are in, you can flip through your presentation as you see fit and pause as you go. You can also, what I also love about this is you can add in questions or add in activities on the go. So if you find that your students are struggling with a slide, you can do add an activity. Give me an open-ended question. What questions do you have about this topic? Or how are you feeling about this topic? Pop in a poll. You can also have students check in so you can see how many students are in the presentation at one time. You can also continue to show that screen just in case students, came in a little late. They can continue to join that screen. You can exit the presentation and end the presentation and collect that data. So let's go ahead and look at that data that we have from our students. So I've already developed a presentation, and I'm going to click see results. And then it's going to pull up my results from my sections. And here we go. I can see how my students did for each activity. I can see their written responses. I can see their drawings, if it's a drawing response. I can see how they did. I can click to show real names, but I'm not going to do that in this example because it has their little screen names there. For example, Cool Doctor, Smiling Walk, Curious Director, Running Pen, Jumping Parrot. Those are all the little nicknames that it gave them. Skipping Cat is probably my favorite. And then you can go ahead and you can click on those responses and see how they did. You can see how many students replied back to that response. So really a great way to kind of get a gauge to see how students are doing with the lesson in that results area. If you would like to, you can resume your presentation. You can also share it out. But again, let's recap. Curipod is a fantastic tool to help you when you're developing your presentations, to help you whenever you're thinking about some formative assessment pieces, some feedback. There's so many options here. It's kind of like if ChatGPT and PowerPoint had a baby, I think it would be Curipod, because it uses that AI component and it uses those good design elements that we have in our presentations, but it adds those engagement sprinkles to it. So I encourage you, go in, check it out. If you just want to start with the Discover piece, that is a great place to start. I love it for an SEL check-in for my students. This is fantastic. And then you can go ahead and continue to start to develop. So if you already have a presentation that you enjoy, go ahead and Curify your slides, or you can generate slides. You can enter a topic. So for example, if I were to type in Charlotte Danielson, a framework for teaching, domain 1, professional development. And you can also go ahead and type in a learning objective, if that is what you would like your presentation to be about, and click do some magic. And then we wait. And then Curipod is going to create a presentation based on that topic. So lots of variety here. If you just wanted to try out the discovery option, you have that. If you wanted to try out, upload your slides, your PowerPoints, your PDF, you can do that. If you wanted to type in a topic, and it'll Curify your slides. And here we go. It developed 13 slides. I can add all 13, or I can go ahead and I can edit the content embedded right within here. I can change up the type of question. I can change up the slide. I can change up the content. I can add to it. And then whenever I'm ready to present, I would just click present and my students can join it. I can track their data and see how we did. So go ahead, give Curipod a try. If you have done so already, I'd love to hear your experience about using Curipod. If you've never checked it out before, please do so. And I'd love to hear how you did with your Curipod. What kind of lesson did you create? What did you think of the process? All right, friends. So again, Curipod.com for the win to help you with creating engaging lessons for students. Super easy and ready to go just for you. All right. Remember, friends, you have the EduMagic, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye for now.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the EduMagic New Educator Podcast. If you found it helpful, please leave a rating and review or share it with a friend. Always remember, you have the EduMagic in you.